So yeah, that was me trying to audition for Peacemaker intro part 2. I'll even be a side person and die in the back, but the intro for this show, if you haven't watched it, is hilarious. And that was me badly trying to recreate it. But thank you for joining me for my review of Peacemaker, DC's new television show connected to their movies, and it's streaming on HBO Max. It picks up right after the Suicide Squad, that after credit scene, and even if you haven't seen that movie, they recap the Suicide Squad movie, the parts that you need to know within this show itself, so you get caught up right away. And we see John Cena's Peacemaker try to live his life because he's been in the hospital and he sees that no one's come for him since he recovered, so he tries to go back home and go back to whatever he was doing because he was jailed before this. But then they come back for him and tell him, like, you have to work for us, your sentence is not done, we have a mission, and if you don't comply, we'll blow your head off. So obviously he complies because he wants to live, and now he's on this mission that he has no idea what it's about, to stop something called Project Butterfly. That's what the first 3 episodes is about, plus a lot of other emotional moments. But I'm going to start talking about what I liked about the first 3 episodes. I'm going to talk about the good. First things first, John Cena as Chris Smith, Peacemaker, is the show. He does a fantastic job as this character. This is a character, I guess you could call him a D-list character in the comic books. I didn't even know about him until the Suicide Squad movie. He never has a really impactful place in the DC universe that much, but John Cena brings his character alive in a way that is very funny, very grounding. He shows aspects of this character that wasn't inside of the Suicide Squad movie. I thought he did a great job in that movie, making this complicated character that thinks that he's doing the right thing but doing it the wrong way. And here we get to see why he's like this, from his parenting to the struggles he has of his past and what he was doing before. It seemed like after almost dying in the Suicide Squad, he's starting to contemplate the things that he wants to do, but he's still this misogynist asshole that makes inappropriate jokes and say inappropriate things and just doesn't understand that you need to relax at all. John Cena plays that character perfectly, and it's just really fun. He almost carries the show on his own. But the second thing that I think is great and doesn't make his character get too annoying, it could if he was just by himself the whole time, is his supporting cast. Hancourt, who is like the hardened agent of Task Force X, who doesn't want to be here, hates him to his guts, but trying to get the job done. Amanda Waller's daughter, who's played by Daniel Brooks, you know her from Netflix's Orange is the New Black, does a great job here as the rookie, not cop, but agent, who never been in the field really like much like that, but has a lot of expertise and a lot of heart, and gets like a little bit of connection with Peacemaker and sees the sadness in him. Steve Agee, who was also inside the second Suicide Squad movie, he might have been in the first one, I don't remember that movie that well, but he does a great job of being the nerd character, but he subverts expectations a little bit. That he is the butt of the joke most of the time, but he's just a great fun character to have around and go back and forth with Peacemaker. Freddie Stroma, who plays Adrian Chase, the vigilante, which is really crazy because, you know, this character has been done in live action before, and I actually really enjoyed that version a lot. It was in the Arrow and one of my favorite seasons of that show, but this version of character is hilarious, so funny. He's very similar to Peacemaker, but but very different at the same time, because Peacemaker is struggling with what he does. Vigilante knows that he loves what he does, so he doesn't care how other people feel about it, and he thinks he's Peacemaker's best friend, but Peacemaker's looking at him like, I don't even know who you are, dude. It's just that relationship is just great, and how obsessed he's with John Cena's Peacemaker is so much fun and makes him a great foil. And there's a bunch of other characters in here that have a lot of personality, a lot of fun. It's a James Gunn TV show, and you know, if you've seen his movie, he's all about personality. That's the first thing that he looks for. It's all about personality, making you funny, bringing out the raunchiness of of each character, and this show has very lowbrow humor, poop jokes, dick jokes, genital jokes, every millisecond, going and going and going and going, with segments of jokes that go on and on and on and on. Are just, and a lot of the jokes hit, some of the jokes don't, but when they do hit, they're hilarious. And this show is very funny. If you've seen anything that James Gunn has done before, you know what kind of humor he likes. And this is kind of like how the feel of like the Guardians of the Galaxy starting to get together in his MCU movie, but R-rated, him getting to go full force, just like in the Suicide Squad movie that he did. And I think the action here is done really well. I think that it's shot very interestingly. It's really brutal and it really impactful, and some of the gore and stuff like that is really crazy. And the way they make fun of it is like one part of the show that where someone gets exploded into bits and pieces and the cops come and then they're like playing around picking up stuff, and she's like, what is this? Is it a pancake? And they're like, no, that's a human face. It's just really funny stuff and how they take things that are horrific and make jokes about it. Now let's talk about the bad. I think that in terms of what, like I said before, in the good part, there is a lot of humor. It goes for the joke a lot, sometimes to the point where it stalls the story because they're going on and on with a segment of jokes and a comedy bit where you're like, okay, are we gonna get back to the story? But it's still, some of it is very fun. I think the body humor is a lot funnier than the lowbrow humor, and if you're not into lowbrow jokes about genitals and farts and, you know, sexist jokes, and there's some racist stuff in here too, this show is not going to be for you, because that's like what it hinges on, is you laughing at those jokes. Some of it I thought was funny, some of it I thought was in poor taste, but the body jokes, the body humor all hit for me and I thought were really hilarious. I did have a fun time and thought I was just smirking throughout the show, even though I thought some of it just went on, some of the gags just went on for a little too long. And with that, I think that the story felt like okay, where are we going? What are we doing here? Is this just going to be about Peacemaker just effing around and not really doing much? There is a mission here, but we don't know what it is because they're not telling me Peacemaker what the mission is. But Peacemaker is the one that we're seeing everything through. So if he doesn't know, we don't know. So some emotional investment wasn't in it. But episode 3 felt like it answered those questions, and it was just, the first 3 episodes was just a build up to that moment to get you emotionally invested in each character. But you might feel your attention waning a bit if you don't really sit through the first 3 episodes and really get invested in each character. And let's talk about my verdict. Do I think this is a must watch? No, it's not a must watch. I think it's really entertaining. If you were a big fan of the Suicide Squad movie, I think that you will really enjoy this, but there's nothing in this show so far that I think that you must see right away. There's nothing revolutionary, but it's very, very fun, very, very funny in moments. The action is good, the cinematography and the score is okay. Some of the music is really good, especially in the intro. The intro is so ridiculous, but like I said, the story is a bit weak. The characters, the humor, the action are on top. The story is just okay, and there's really no interesting antagonist just yet. So I definitely think people should check it out, but you don't have to rush to do it. First 3 episodes are out, and I think there's going to be 7 episodes or 8 episodes in total. So overall, I think I give the first 3 episodes of Peacemaker a C+. So let me know down in the comments below what you thought about Peacemaker. What were your favorite moments? Who were your favorite characters? Do you agree with my review? Please like the video if you like my review. Subscribe to the channel to join the family and hit that notification bell. I'm not going to be reviewing more episodes of Peacemaker once they all come out. I'm just going to do a full review of the series, so definitely want to be notified when that happens. And I have a bunch of reviews and reactions coming soon, and my top 27 MCU movies list should be out now as this video is coming out, so definitely check that out as well. Thank you for watching the video, and be well.